This is Nick.
This is Jack.
It's Friday, the real Friday, October 28th, and today's pod is the best one yet.
Yeah, it is. This is a T-Boy.
It is a T-Boy. Jack, can you talk to us about the big number?
America just announced their GDP numbers for the third quarter. They were pretty good.
Our economy just grew 2.6%, better than expected.
That is better than expected. Shocktober continues.
Shocktober keeps on shocking. Jack, what's our first story?
For our first story, Elon Musk officially buys Twitter today and becomes CEO of Twitter today.
And it all began with a kitchen sink.
For our second story, Coca-Cola just announced their number one priority for next year.
Perfect the package.
And our third and final story is Facebook. They just suffered their worst earnings yet.
Get this, Meta lost $80 billion of value in 24 hours.
It was a T-Boy.
Yeah, 13 lifts of value.
Disappeared.
It was bad.
The worst one yet. But Yetis, before we hit that fantastic mix.
Just the perfect mix, Jack, even though my hair was bouncing all over the place.
The T-Boy Halloween costume competition is down to the final four.
Our search for the best business-themed outfit out there.
Here we go. Your final four nominations for the best costume yet.
Jack, the envelope, please. Who have we got?
Kelly. Kelly is going as inflation this year.
Yeah, Kelly is going as a bunch of balloons, and that is inflation, literally.
That's it. Bonus if she goes as stagflation this year.
Yeah, it basically would be dressing as a deer with a bunch of balloons on the deer antlers.
All right, let's turn to Dan Lay, who's going as a Subway Funa sandwich.
All right, this one's great. He's going as an animal, just any animal that isn't a tuna.
Any non-tuna animal, and then he's wrapping himself in bread.
Boom! You are a tuna sandwich from Subway. That's all it takes.
All right, let's turn over to Sam Serberg.
Ooh, this was good. This was good.
Who this year is a bored ape with no yacht.
Yeah, he's a monkey with no money.
He's an orangutan without anything.
Yeah, you're a bored ape NFT who's worth 70% less than last year.
Our final candidate this year is Andre, who's going as the Mark Zuckerberg copy machine.
So here's what you do. You dress as a photocopier. That's step one.
But you wear a sticker that says, "Hello, my name is Mark."
That's step two. And together,
it's not a costume, it's a zucking.
If you know, you know.
Yetis, those are the final four finalists for the best business-themed Halloween costume.
Those are the four candidates to win this year's competition.
It's your turn, Yetis. Vote for this year's best costume yet.
Yeah, you can vote all weekend long at TBoyPod on Instagram or on Twitter.
Happy trick-or-treating.
We'll see you in costume on Monday.
Let's hit our three stories.
You go to Spirit Halloween now. I'll go to Spirit Halloween.
15 years before this song, two boys from the Northeast met in the dorm. They had an idea that caused a cultural storm. It's the best one yet, but the best is a norm. Jack, Nick, that's it. I don't even think they need to practice. 50%, that's a fat tip. T-Boy City on your at-list. If you know, you know, cause we ready to go. We can't wait no more, so just start the show. Start the show.
For our first story today, Elon Musk finally closes that 6-month ordeal of a deal to buy Twitter.
And Elon also finally told us why he's actually buying Twitter.
Jack, are we going to talk about the X app?
We may get there in the takeaway.
We're going to talk about the X app. Yetis, the calendars were circled. Today, the deadline that the courts gave Elon Musk to finally do what he said he was going to do.
Elon has two choices. Either today he buys Twitter for $44 billion,
or Elon has to show up in court on Monday in a suit with a briefcase
and go through an epic trial against Twitter, which Twitter would rather die than lose.
Now, there's one thing Jack and I know about Elon Musk. He doesn't like lawyers, and he doesn't want to show up in court on Monday.
So we expect him to buy Twitter today.
There was actually an early sign this week that Elon was going to buy Twitter.
On Wednesday, he changed his Twitter bio to say Chief Twit.
That's a good sign. And then there was a second sign this week that Elon was actually going to buy Twitter.
He showed up to work at Twitter.
And there is a third confirmation Elon's actually going to buy Twitter, which was kind of strange.
He didn't show up to work with a laptop or a satchel. He brought the kitchen sink.
Elon literally showed up at Twitter headquarters and he brought a physical part of the kitchen, the sink.
Let that sink in.
It's like Elon went to Home Depot and then he went right to Twitter.
And then he tweeted, "I am at Twitter headquarters. Let that sink in."
But yet he's the biggest thing Elon did wasn't change his Twitter bio, wasn't show up at the office, and it wasn't that random kitchen sink thing.
No, Elon told us on Thursday why he actually wants to buy Twitter.
He posted a long message on Thursday, and that's a big deal.
It's a big deal because he's buying Twitter now. And everything he has said in the last 6 months, we had to take it with a huge grain of salt.
Yeah, because Elon was like trying to wiggle out of the deal. He had buyer's remorse.
Anything he might have said in the past 6 months might have been just to get out of the deal.
So with that message and him firing the CEO and buying the company today, we actually believe these to be his intentions.
Here's what Elon said about why he's buying Twitter. He believes that we need a common digital town square.
The far right and the far left, they live in echo chambers. There's no central space where people actually interact online.
That's what Elon said. So he said he's trying to make Twitter the common space where we can all engage in dialogue.
And then he clarified, Twitter will not become a free-for-all hellscape where anything can be said with no
He
consequences.
clarified it must be warm and welcoming to all. So there's going to be some rules.
And now that he's finally said why he's actually doing this, it's a worthwhile cause.
That sounds like a worthwhile cause, Nick.
We hope he succeeds, whether or not he got a good deal on that sink. So, Jack, what's the takeaway for our buddy over at Twitter?
Elon also may rename Twitter X, the everything app.
Yeah, Yetis, we should mention this too. Elon actually tweeted this strange thing a few weeks ago when he ended his lawsuit against Twitter.
He tweeted, buying Twitter is an accelerant to creating X, the everything app.
The X app, the everything app. That is something never achieved in the United States before. It's a new thing.
Everything apps are popular in Asia. One app to rule them all, also known as a super app.
Yeah, you may have heard of these before. Shopping, messaging, food delivery, payments, all of that. All of the apps that are in your phone, but in one single app.
And we predicted, actually, in our
Yeah, we
2022
did.
predictions
We
pod,
did.
we predicted that Twitter would become America's first super app.
Literally 10 months ago, we were saying Twitter for a super app.
It's pretty wild, but Elon seems interested in what we predicted 10 months ago.
Making Twitter America's first super app. He just said it.
But first, he has to transform this broken company into the world's common digital town square.
For our second story, Coca-Cola just told us its plans for 2023.
The can shape, the bottle size, and the six-packs are all getting a makeover.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking, Jack?
Coca-Cola must perfect the package.
Okay, Jack, weekend trivia. I know what you're asking. I know you like a good trivia. What are you going to do?
Give me a stock that is actually up this year.
That is honestly a hard question, Yetis. The answer, Coca-Cola.
Because when the going gets tough,
Yeah,
people guzzle gassy drinks.
basically. Like right now, milk prices, they're up 10% and everyone's complaining about that.
Sprite's up 12%, and no one seems to be complaining about that.
Everyone keeps on buying that soda. Revenues for Coca-Cola jumped 10%. Profit jumped 14%.
It's not just Hermes handbags that are doing fine in this economy.
By the way, you just stuck the landing on that pronunciation, man. I like it.
Thank you.
Yeti's funny thing Jack and I noticed in the Coca-Cola earnings. If you tighten your belt, that's a problem for Coke.
Literally and figuratively, it's a problem.
Because whether you're drinking less soda to lose weight or you're drinking less soda to save money, both of those are an issue for Coke.
Now, so far, people have not cut back on Coca-Cola, but executives are concerned that next year that might change.
Okay, so what's Coke's plan as prices rise, Jack?
They're going to change the cans. Literally, the cans of Coke will look different next year.
Yeah, because 2023, it is all about the perfecting of the package.
The CEO said this week, when prices rise, that's when package innovation takes a bigger role.
So Coke's throwing its best people down in Atlanta on bottles and cans.
We're expecting to see a new Coke shape, a new Sprite size, and a new kind of Fanta pack.
Yeah, help people with shrinking budgets adjust by offering different sized products.
Look at Soda Sam. Let's say he can't afford another 20-ounce bottle. They're going to whip up a 16-ounce option.
Jack, let's look at our buddy Budget Betty. She isn't buying a 12-pack of Powerades, but she will buy a 10-pack.
Maybe a tablespoon of Topo Chico.
Maybe a dollop of
Bring
Dasani.
back the juice box for this economy.
Jack, what do I got to do to get you into this 10-ounce Capri Sun?
Yeti says prices rise. Coke could lose Soda Sam and Budget Betty to knockoff cola brands.
Or they could lose them to free tap water. It's free.
And that's why they're doing our takeaway.
So, Jack, what's the takeaway for our buddies over at Coke?
Evolve the product to meet the wallet.
Okay, Yetis, here is how the Coca-Cola CEO described the situation next year. He described it as a ladder.
On the ladder of pricing, right now you need a product at every price point.
Okay, now Jack and I have said this before. We called it a pricing poll. He says pricing ladder. We prefer ours, but fine, we'll go with ladder, Jack. Let's go with ladder.
It's the same concept. Some consumers are moving down the ladder as they get pinched by inflation. and Coke has to offer them a new rung.
And that's why Coke is going to offer different sizes, different quantities, different shapes of different cans next year.
Coke is evolving the product to meet your wallet. Now, a word about our sponsor, Robinhood.
You know, honestly, your salad, it says so much about you.
Nick, you like to blaze your own trail at the salad bar.
Yeah, I'm ordering a salad. I go off menu, man. Like a combo of kale and croutons that has never been made before.
Me? I'm not reinventing the wheel. I like to go classic.
Like if Sweet Green thinks it's a good combo, Jack's not going to change that.
Kind of like investing strategies. Some want to build a custom portfolio of stocks, crypto, and options.
Others don't want to reinvent. Just give me the most standard ETF.
Whether you're tweaking your one-of-a-kind portfolio every day or prefer a more hands-off approach, Robinhood has the tools.
If you're not investing on Robinhood yet, to get started, go to Robinhood.com/Tboy to choose your free stock.
That's Robinhood.com/TBOY. Limitations apply.
Stocks offered by Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC.
Crypto offered through Robinhood Crypto.
All investments involve risk.
By the way, this podcast is not owned or part of Robinhood, and we are not employees of Robinhood.
For our third and final story before the weekend, Meta, the owner of Facebook, just plummeted a whopping 25% in one day.
Because we got the numbers on the metaverse.
Yeah, Jack.
And yeah.
Okay, Yetis. Jack and I are in the business of storytelling. And the way we see it, sometimes you can tell a story in words, but sometimes you can tell that story in numbers.
This is one of those numbers stories.
Let's open the book, Jack. Chapter 1.
Because Meta just announced their revenues fell again and profits got pounded in the third quarter.
Meta, the owner of Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, the zucking machine, once worth a mighty $1 trillion with a T dollars.
Now it's worth a quarter that much after falling by 25% yesterday.
That's a 25% drop in just the last 24 hours, Yetis.
That is $80 billion of lost stock market value in one day.
Okay, Jack, it feels like we should sprinkle on some context here to the value of $80 billion disappeared in one day.
More value was erased yesterday from Meta stock than the entire values of Boeing, Airbnb, or Sony.
Okay, Meta fell in value yesterday, more than the values of Ford and Marriott combined.
In one day, Zuck lost 2 Twitters, 5 Pinterests, 13 Lyfts worth of value.
Jack, companies are cute, but can we bring up some countries or continents here, man?
$80 billion in shrinkage of market cap is more than the GDP of Guatemala.
Jack, I'm doing some back of the envelope math. Facebook lost the value of 40 million cans of Capri Sun.
I think it's 40 billion cans.
I meant packets.
40 billion packets.
It's definitely billion.
Yetis, the once mighty Facebook, the stock has fallen so much, it is back to where it was 6 years ago.
Sometimes you just need to say the numbers. So, Jack, what's the takeaway for our buddies over at Meta?
Zuck just metaphorically flipped off Wall Street.
Facebook just whipped up the middle finger of pokes.
Because Zuck is doing the opposite of everything that key Wall Street analysts are telling him to do.
The tone on this Facebook earnings call was described by CNBC as flabbergasted.
For example, a prominent investor announced last week they want Facebook to lay off 20% of the workforce to save some money.
But Zuck just added 3,700 jobs in the last 3 months.
Last quarter, Facebook hired 100 MetaMates per day.
Oh, you want another one, besties? Investors also want Facebook to spend less money on virtual reality and the metaverse.
But Zuck announced yesterday he's increasing planned investments in the metaverse by $5 billion.
In fact, investors asked Zuck to simply cut spending in general.
But last quarter, Zuck spent 19% more on costs, which shrank profits by half.
So yeah, everything Jack and I just said is frustrating to investors. But here's the part that was insulting to investors.
There's nothing the investor community can do about it.
Yeah, because Zuck owns super shares of the company's stock. So only Zuck can remove Zuck.
Remember what Justin Timberlake told Zuck to do with his business card in the movie?
Cut the?
No. His business card says, I'm CEO.
Yetis, Zuck just metaphorically flipped off Wall Street. Jack, can you whip up the takeaways for us for the Real Friday?
Today is Elon's court-ordered deadline to finally buy Twitter.
And Twitter may turn into our first American everything app.
For our second story, Coca-Cola is preparing smaller package options for next year.
Coke's evolving the product to meet your wallet.
And our third and final story is Meta. The stock fell 25% yesterday, hitting a 6-year low.
Zuck's CEO, so he metaphorically flipped off Wall Street. Now, time for the best fact yet, which is actually a clarification and a correction and an update from our Yeti buddies Troy Larson and Natalie Kegel.
We weren't super clear yesterday about what small town in Canada Chipotle is opening locations in.
We said Chipotle is opening locations in Alberta.
Alberta is a province of Canada, and it's small towns within that province that are getting some guac soon.
Hey, again, that extra guac. In fact, Alberta is the 4th largest province in all of Canada by population.
And it's named after Queen Victoria's daughter, Alberta.
And it hosts Edmonton, the fantastically largest city in that province.
Edmonton, home of the Oilers, who won 5 Stanley Cups in the 80s.
Edmonton, home of universal health care, Jack.
It's the only province known to have the wealth of the United States, but also the wonderful quality of living of Canada.
And Jack, can you whip up the weather forecast for our buddies over in Edmonton right now?
It snowed 20 inches there this week.
So to all our Canadian Yetis, Jack and I just want to say, sorry.
Go Oilers.
Besties, you looked fantastic all week. And remember, to vote in the T-Boy annual Halloween costume competition, hit us up at T-Boy Pod. Voting all weekend. We'll see you there. And before we go, congratulations to get this, Yetis Sam and Selena, who have their 1-year anniversary because they met a year ago at a Halloween party.
And congratulations to Andrew Fiorentino for getting a new job working at a rocket ship at Boeing.
A rocket scientist. And Francesca Perino, happy birthday, turning 18 and on the way to the college of her dreams in Illinois.
Happy birthday to Ashman, who's celebrating with a cheesecake in Jersey City.
And Doug Hosea, happy birthday in Litchfield Park, Arizona.
Happy 26th birthday to twins Aaron and Ellen in Bentonville, Arkansas.
And Alexis Davidson is turning 39 while stuck in traffic on I-80 outside of Fairfield, California.
And happy birthday to Adosa in Boston, Mass.
And Timmy Ashimwe, happy birthday in Westbrook, Maine.
Happy birthday to Jill Zhu in Daly City, California.
And Michael Carabian is turning 12 on his first trip to Mexico with his dad.
And happy 11th birthday to Nicolette Villanova in Rancho Cucamonga, California.
And a happy birthday to Nandini Vidge, turning 30 in San Jose.
And happy 46 to Fabian Mills in Portland, Oregon.
And Eddie Hines, turning 49 down in Atlanta.
And happy birthday to Debbie Vies in Lakewood, Colorado. This is Jack. Nick and I both own stock of Airbnb, Twitter, and Robinhood. Now, a word about our sponsor, Robinhood.
Okay, so Jack and I both worked in finance for a while.
And we know the 6-monitor Bloomberg jockey with charts, numbers, balances, and more charts.
They got coffees in both hands while they're executing some complex trade on a soybean future.
Well, we're not trying to impress with our mission control trading center. Just give us an app, please.
Robinhood, with its mobile-first and intuitive design, it lets you trade with just a few quick taps on their app.
And even if things still don't seem easy, Robinhood has your back 24/7 with its live and robust customer support.
If you're not investing on Robinhood yet, to get started, go to Robinhood.com/TBoy and choose your free stock.
That's Robinhood.com/TBOY. Limitations apply.
Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. All investments involve risk.
By the way, this podcast is not owned by or part of Robinhood, and we are not employees of Robinhood. Happy 11th birthday to Nicolette Villanova in Rancho Cucamonga, California.
Cucamonga, sorry.
And happy 11th birthday to Nicolette Villanova in Rancho Cucamonga.
Cucamonga.
And happy 11th birthday to Nicolette Villanova in Rancho Cucamonga, California. Did I get it?